Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Neil Robertson Pro Career on Snooker 19. Today it is time for part 14 of Season 4 and we play the last 7 frames potentially in the first round of the Shanghai Masters against the Angry Farmer, Dave Gilbert. Now we made a fantastic start to this match. We lead by 4 frames to nil. It's very, very rare against any player that you go into the mid-session interval with no reply in terms of frames. So we've got a big chance. This could all be over in 2 frames. If Dave Gilbert plays fantastically, it could well end up being 7-4. It's just one of those matches. But again, if you didn't watch the episode on Monday, obviously I recommend that you do go and do that. But we are playing the last 24 of the Shanghai Masters, which I'm a little bit annoyed about because being the holder of the tournament, we technically should be the first seed. So we shouldn't have to play in this effectively qualifier round. But I'll tell you what, that's a good safety shot using that brown there to slow things down. And I think we've got an early snooker. Oh no, you can just about see the edge of that red. But, well, that's not exactly continuing in the best light for Dave Gilbert. That's a horrible shot. Absolutely horrible shot. Goes in off with that red, and you'd think a top 16 player would have more of a brain than that. But at the same token, would you look at that? We play the positive shot, and unfortunately, we've not been rewarded for it at all. So, let's try and just make something here. Get this cue ball back up to the bulk. It's the only thing we can do, really. And we've done that pretty successfully, to be honest. Not really leaving too much on. Very unlucky not to pot anything, leave a pot on for ourselves there. But we were going to leave a pot on for Dave. But much like us, really, he's not left himself the best of chances. He's going to play a safety, it looks like, on this black. I mean, it doesn't look like much of a safety. I feel like he actually went for the pot, you know. But it has turned into a pretty decent safety in the end. So I'm pretty envious of him there. A very good safety, actually. Makes our job very hard. But for those of you who didn't watch the previous video, we did break off for this frame. I can't remember whether it was us or Dave that broke off for this frame. It's just to avoid any silly saving issues that we've had in the past. That looks like it's got a good pace on it. Beautiful shot. Excellent. Well. Played that brilliantly. We are starting to come into our own now this season. It's good to see. I think the next step is going far in a tournament, but you know we've got to get past the first round here first, and we are definitely the favourite now. Obviously, there's no arguing against that, but Dave Gilbert's still a tricky opponent. Tremendous. But a good opening red.
Really impressive queuing.
Really, after potting one, they're not quite at our mercy, but there's certainly a few chances now. We've got a bit more freedom in terms of our position to make this count. And if we can get 5-0 up, of course, there's a maximum of 6 to play after that. And Dave Gilbert would be in a really, really tricky position. Obviously, the last frame is always the most difficult one to get. But if we can get this frame, then it's almost like the sky's the limit, really.
7.
But I hope you guys are all good. It's nice to see you guys still enjoying the series. I certainly am. But I have said before, and I'll say it again, just for those of you who are tuning in and out, that this will be the last season of the Neil Robertson Career Mode, but there's still plenty of content to come, so don't worry about that. There's a big season to come, and based off last season, we're going to be here till about maybe March next year, if things run as they did this season. So I won't be worried about the series stopping just yet.
13.
If we can get the right side here, we've got quite a few reds that'll go. It's just awkward here, really. Dave Gilbert's got away with this a little bit because we haven't left the best of chances. So one of those hit and hope shots here. Pop the colour and just hope for the best, really, in terms of position. And if that runs, that's not the worst position in the world. And I feel like there might be a sniff for one of them into the middle pocket. I could be wrong. Ooh, that is close. I think that will go, you know. I think it will to the middle pocket, but think this one's probably the best one to take on here. Very soft though. We don't want to hit this any harder than we need to. And it's there. Good pot.
17.
If we can then pot the blue, we've got a bit more angle to get position for the red. But what I didn't think of course, is that the pink's there, so that's not ideal either. Yeah, if we can get across enough, there is still a position for a red, so we just got to bear that in mind. If we don't get position here for something, we'll be a bit unlucky.
Really aggressive potting there.
Very good shot on the blue. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get position on this red. It certainly is. And I think we just play this with power. Try and open an opportunity, because these reds are nicely placed, but only if you play very precise snooker. And I mean, as you can see, even at 90%, it's not done that much, but it's just opened up a bit of an opportunity, which sometimes a little opportunity is all you need. The black won't go, so pink it is, which is absolutely fine. Just got to work out how we position up next. Can play this with side, but it's always a risk playing with side. Might not go as intended. The pink's there, and we seem to have played a decent shot. Good stuff.
29.
But don't be fooled by the scoreline so far. Dave Gilbert is a top 16 player. He's just been quite poor so far, it has to be said. He's not took his chances. It's been very much an off day, and, well, his contributions to frame 5 so far seem to indicate that's got no sign of ending. That bad day, that is. So it could be a quick one here, but it's 2 frames we've got to win. They're all equal. You know, the commentators say, and I guess it's true to some extent, well, this frame is worth the most. I suppose it is if it's a decider, etc. But in reality, in mathematical terms, they mean no more or less than one another, the frames. So I'm going to have to play a good shot here to get on something. Unless we play again with a bit of side. Not a fan of playing with side, I have to say. If we are going to play with side, we've got to get convincing position, I think. So just need to make sure we hit this at the right pace.
Half a chance here.
Which we have.
That's a fabulous pot.
And it's dragged across for that red, so a good shot in the end.
He'll be happy with that.
You can see it's a bit awkward because we are having to play with side. We very rarely play with side on Snooker 19. I don't like doing it, so it doesn't happen very often. The problem is that the pink and black are tied up, so unless we play a very good shot, we're just going to be in this position for a while. So I think it might well be safety time. Can't see how we're going to get luck to get on the next red, so that's why we're going to play a safety shot here. Try and get the snooker, but at the very least get a good safety. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Neil Robertson.
Right up the bulk, leaves him a problem. I'm happy with that. Although I'm not so happy with his reply. That was well, I'm not necessarily inevitable, but that could have happened, and it did.
Managed the snooker. Let's see what happens here.
I'm hoping we can get out of this just by hitting the one on the cushion, but it's a tricky one. It's at about 17%, I think.
Pace is key with
And,
this shot.
you know, that sort of thing can always happen. Don't think we're going to be anywhere near this one on the cushion. No. So it leaves him a chance.
That's not a good result.
Can Dave Gilbert get himself back in the match? As I said, these things can happen when you try and play a safety. It's a cracking safety from Gilbert, and but I don't regret playing the initial shot. I don't really regret that. But I would be shocked if he didn't clear up here. His problem is now he's moved the pink, he does make things a bit more awkward for himself.
14.
And makes things especially awkward now. That was a well, nothing short of a stinker of a shot.
David Gilbert, 14.
And from thinking we wouldn't get another shot, it's, well, not terrible, is it now? Our situation. Hit that a bit hard, but I don't think we're going to leave too much. I think he can probably see this red. So whether he's willing to take it on, I probably would at 4-0 down. There's no real risk to it. But he's hit all 3 reds at once in one safety shot. I mean, if you're going to play a safety shot, the advice usually is to not hit all the reds. And I have to say, I think we've got to get our jail free here. I really think we have. Because I think we played quite poorly there. Well, didn't quite play quite poorly there, but I did think that with a few shots we played, we could have played better. And I thought that he'd clear the table. And that is a massive opportunity missed for Dave Gilbert because, you know, joking aside, 4-1 is a lot different to 5-0, and it is now 5-0. Barring any mistakes or surprises. And I think that really renders the match over. If he's not going to take that chance,
14.
then when is he going to take a chance? Still a bit of work to do, though. Still got to win one more frame. Can we win this without any reply? That would be a statement to make at the start of this Shanghai Masters, defending our title from last year.
15.
We had some brilliant matches in the Shanghai Masters last year. Really did. Particularly that semi-final against Mark Williams. Went all the way to a decider. How's it an unforced error? Explain. Explain to me, please, Neil Folds, why that's an unforced error. I'm quite happy with that position.
19.
The final didn't really live up to the billing, to be honest, in last year against Judd Trump. I think it was 9 frames to 4 we beat him by in the end,
20.
which wasn't really any sort of competition. The semi-final was far more of a match for the neutral, but for us it was a brilliant day.
Can't see any problems here.
Really was a brilliant day. Probably our best performance on this career mode so far, and that propelled us to having a good run.
Pot right up his street.
Oh, wonderful.
And hopefully this tournament can be the catalyst again.
31.
Be great to come and defend our title. Something we've not done in Snooker 19. I mean, okay, we've not won the most amount of titles, I accept that. But we came very close in the Dafabet Masters last year. We won it in Season 2, got to the semi-final last year, very nearly got to the final. I think we lost that in a decider, or it was 6 frames to 4 to Higgins. So it'd be brilliant if we could defend this title. And the way we're playing in this first match, it's a good way to go about it. And I think Dave Gilbert has lost all hope now. Based off that break-off. I mean, I tell you what, he's actually got away with this, you know. He's not really left anything on. But, you know what, being 5-0 up, I think we might as well just play a chance shot.
Tricky shot here.
Because if we pot this, it could be Dave Gilbert's last shot. And what a shot that was. The problem is, the position's not there. We needed some luck. Oh, and we've got it. I didn't think we had it, admittedly. I thought that we'd scuppered that chance. I thought that the blue was off limits. But that's a fantastic shot. So I said at 5-0 up, it was worth taking on. We very nearly missed the blue there. It was worth taking it on. And, well, we want to make Dave Gilbert pay. Because it was a... I'll use a nice term. It was an unorthodox break-off. This is a tricky shot. This might not drop, but it does. Yeah, it was an unorthodox break-off, and well, it's not worked for him, has it at all? It really hasn't. But still some work to do to win this frame. It can work very much against you when the reds are out in the open like this. You've got to be a lot more precise with your positioning. Obviously it's a situation that doesn't happen so often, so got to be on your guard. Oh, that's close. I think that just about will go. It is close. That one won't. This one will, but it's a bit tougher. I think we just about take this on. It's not the sort of shot I'd like to take in a decider, believe me, but I think here it'll just about wriggle in. Could be wrong, but no, it does. Unfortunately, though, we played all that for the pot that we seem to forget about position, but once again, we've got it on the blue, but this time we've got to play an up and down shot.
Good cueing.
Can't play backspin from directly off the cushion, and can you look at that? Wow. Well, we very rarely miss a blue, and we very rarely miss it that close.
Robertson, 30.
I've never had a blue that's been missed that close, goodness me. Rattled off the pocket, it was just the pace we were playing it at, but
Right pace.
we needed to play it at that pace, and, well, this is another chance for Dave Gilbert. Again, we've not really played our best since the interval, but it's been enough so far. Gets an easy start, does Dave,
6,
with that blue. And let's see what he can make of this.
7.
You know, in some ways I'd like to get this finished, in other ways I'd quite like him to make a match of this. It always seems a shame when your opponent doesn't really have a say. Well, he's had enough of a say, but he's not played well enough at all, really.
12.
I think he'll do it this time out. I think he will.
18.
Don't know if you can see the red past the black. Not sure. I think he can. We'll soon know. Yep, he can.
19.
Not played that with much conviction, though.
And in it goes.
But
Wonderful.
the recovery is pretty good.
Outstanding effort.
Can't argue with that.
25.
I think he's going to get one back here. We just can't enter the same mindset as we did against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Oh, he's got one back. Well, there you go.
26.
But black's certainly off limits there. I think you can definitely see the pink, but he's just going to play a safety here, which at this point I don't blame him for. But, well, that was a bit of a stinker, to be honest. So, ill-informed decision, and that might well be his last shot. To be honest, as I said, I don't blame him for playing a safety. It seems like a fairly sensible decision, but on that occasion it was quite a poor one in hindsight. But not the best shot from us there.
Just wants to sink this into the
Overhat hit that slightly, so we're going to have to play a tricky shot on the red next time out to stay on the table.
7.
This is a tricky pot, but this is really all we can go for.
This is really tricky.
Need a bit of help off the middle pocket, but it's there. Brilliant shot.
outstanding potting.
That's a cracking pot, that really is.
This is being played towards the left middle pocket.
Fine margins there. Always is with the centre pockets. It's always very tight.
Yeah, played it well.
14.
Try and get this pink a bit straighter so we've got a bit more room for manoeuvre.
15.
I think this red will go past the blue. Oh, no, it won't. That does make things a bit tricky, I have to say. That's what I was banking on there, really, so that's made things very tough. I think it might be safety time for us, you know. I think it has to be. I don't really want to take the chance here. And to be fair, you know, I can't see us leaving much on here. He might play a good safety possibly, but that's a pretty good shot. I'm happy with that.
Great shot.
Right on the cushion.
15.
He's just going to play on the edge of this red. Oof. Very close to going in off there. Wowzers. He's a lucky man. Let's fit this with some pace.
Cue ball close to the cushion.
Let's see if we can get this safe. Doesn't look like we will. Played it with too much power, really. Not the best. Just played that with too much power. It's always the risk when you're hitting it a bit thicker. But again, it's another chance. How many chances does a man want?
Corner here.
This is a big pot, this, if he gets this. And it's there.
Down it goes.
Not ideal now. He's pushed that red onto the
Looking for
cushion.
the pot into the right middle.
7.
Who am I to talk? He's just snuck that one away straight away. Probably getting rid of that. I think the problem comes with the last red, actually.
11.
Or maybe not. It might go past the black and I've misjudged it. It certainly looks like it from a top-down view. And yeah, well, that's really annoying because that was a shot we were going to take on. And I think it's a shot that's enabled Dave Gilbert to win the frame. But it would be a travesty if he didn't win the frame. But, well, he's made this a bit more awkward,
18.
but not too awkward. And, well, it should be the first frame on the board for Dave.
25.
Bit disappointed we couldn't close it out, but it was a stinker of a frame from us. So if Dave didn't win that frame, it would be a bit embarrassing for him.
32.
So is this the start of a comeback? I hope not.
43.
But a decent clearance. That'll be a clearance of 50, and he gets one back. It's 5-1.
Well played to take that frame.
Much like in the World Championship, we're one frame away from winning. And, well,
Robertson to break.
I'm not going to say it's early signs of us getting a bit wary, but that wasn't the best snooker in that frame. We don't want to see the finishing line too early here. Ooh, is that going to hit the jaw? It is, but he gets away with it. Because it was a thin safety shot on the in the first instance anyway. So a nice shot. I think we need a bit more pace on this. It got a nice line, maybe a percent more. Would have been snuggled in right behind the brown, but it's okay. No problem with that. Well, he's missed the red. That's a disaster.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson.
Surely he's not going to do it again.
He's asked for his opponent to play again.
No, he hits the red this time. I was about to say, if that got decided by a free misroll, as the first frame of the match did, of course, all that time ago now, it would be a travesty. But luckily it doesn't, so that's okay. Not quite got the angle on that to put him in trouble, but the red's still all in a cluster.
Excellent safety shot.
And they seem to like that. And he's playing a bit thicker, so he needs a bit of safety. And I'll tell you what, he's got away with that. He really has. We're going to have to play for a bit more angle to try and get this cue ball central of the table. Where is that red going? That's annoying. That is annoying. But I'll tell you what, we've actually put it right on the cushion, so that's okay. Just a bit of luck, to be honest, for Gilbert, that if we'd left it right in a path where it wouldn't affect any of the other reds. So it's got him a starter. Again, this is... I don't want to say it's worrying yet, but I am having flashbacks to what happened in the World Championship. And I think you do naturally start to see the winning line, but, well, he's not took his chance
David
there.
Gilbert, 9.
Made all of 9 out of that. Thought we'd have made a bit more of that, I have to say. This has got a good line. Not quite enough pace to sneak in by the yellow, but it's not bad. A little bit more and it would have been a very good shot. But they seem to like it. Good reply. Good reply. That would be a good shot, wouldn't it, to get in that gap, but that's never going to happen. So, just try and get this cue ball back up to bulk. Wouldn't mind it hitting the brown here. Oh, that's worked out brilliantly. That has worked out brilliantly. We couldn't write that. You couldn't write that, and we've got the snooker on him. And this is a chance. Not a golden one, but a chance nonetheless. And we've got a chance now, and I think that, yes, I know I've talked about seeing the winning line too early, but I think we have to see the winning line now. This is a chance we have got to take.
He's an expert long potter, and he's taking this on.
Or at least make a lot of. Not necessarily a frame-winning clearance, but definitely make a lot out of.
6.
Get sort of 40, 50 points at least out of this. That's ran a bit too much really for us to get anything effective. That's annoying. Again, it's just all got. He's got all those worrying signs.
No issues there.
But this might not be a bad shot. It's got enough pace off the cushion, so the break should continue. A bit more awkward than you would have liked with a pot to the middle, but it's not going to work out too badly if we pot this. And every pot we get is a point closer to the last 16.
11.
He'll play this with plenty of power.
And let's see what the split's like. Or let's not. Try that again.
That's a great split.
Let's see what the split's like, because whenever Neil Fold says it's a great split, it's usually terrible. Yeah, great split. Go figure. It's almost like he's set up in joke mode. Take the mick mode. It's not a bad split, but I wouldn't call it a great split.
Beautifully done.
Yet there are splits that I've considered great, and he said, well, I struggle to get those open, or whatever rubbish they come out with. Not really much chance of opening these up either, so I'm going to duck out. I'm going to just play the safety. There's a big, well, not a massive one, but certainly a target in behind the brown. And it'll be tricky for him to get out of that, so seems like the sensible option. Oh, look where that cue ball is. Beautiful.
That's a fine snooker.
That was a big target. And, well, I can't see him getting out of this. He might do, though. Yep, he does on the first go, so panic over.
Well,
From
he's
a
left half a chance.
Dave Gilbert point of view, but he's left us a chance. And the red's there. Not really on a colour, though. Although, that's not worked out too badly. We should be able to just play straight on the blue. Problem is that haven't really got any position after that. So, it's going to be another safety here. It's becoming one of those where it's just drawn out safety, but there's not a lot we can do about it.
Neil Robertson. 1.
But it's a good shot.
He's looking to get the cue ball safe and
Has to play a safety on the pack, which I think he's a bit reluctant to do. And he's hit the blue, and that is the end of that one. That's all she wrote on that safety battle. Again, get that red.
Poor attempt, really.
Definitely, well, I don't know if he's talking about me or about Gilbert, but I'd agree if he was talking about Dave Gilbert. Just chip away at this total now. That's all we've got to do. And hopefully we can win this now. Has that got enough pace on it? Surely it has. Surely it has. Oh, that was a bit of a wary one for us. Definitely was. Goodness me. That wasn't really good enough, by the way. We should have
Taking this on to the right middle.
played that at the right pace, or else we wouldn't have been in this muddle we are now. This is a bit of a trickier situation than I wanted to be in.
14.
Ooh, man. That's awkward, to say the least. Taking big liberties here with this. If this goes in, this will be a brilliant shot, and it is. Whoa, wow. Yeah, what can you say? I was not expecting that to go in at all.
15.
Plays for some backspin, try and develop some of these reds.
That's an excellent pot.
There's certainly one or two developed there. That's good to see.
21.
And this should be our chance now. We've just got to play a careful brand of snooker. Nothing stupid, nothing rash. Like that.
Position looks good for a colour.
22.
And we should be okay, but this isn't an easy shot. We're going to elect to play the very tricky shot here. Up to the top corner pocket.
Not an easy one, but a half chance.
Big rewards if this goes in. If it stays out, Gilbert's got a chance. This looks good. Oh, what a shot. Position's not great, though. That's the problem. Especially on that red on the cushion. But this one
Position.
should be okay.
28.
So it's red, colour red, to take the match.
He seems full of confidence at the moment.
And,
29.
well, I think it's pink we'll go for here. The same with full of confidence. I wouldn't quite echo that, I have to say.
Aiming for the centre pocket
We're
here.
just squeezing our way over the line. We did all the hard work earlier when we took the 4-frame lead. We're just getting on tent hooks because of the situation against Ronnie, and I think that's understandable. But 48 ahead now. This red will put us 49 ahead with only 43 on the table. It's a tricky one. It's not a guarantee. But it's dropped. So, barring snookers, we should be through the first round. But
Any ideas his opponent may have of a comeback?
it's a tricky one, this, because we can't really get to either of the next reds. So I'm going to elect to play the safety shot.
Just looking to drop this in gently.
No, I'm not looking to drop the green in at all. Looking to just play the safety shot. And there you go.
Robertson, 30.
That is the snooker. He's going to play on, of course. Just hoping for something to happen here. And it has. He's left the red on. And that's all we wanted. We just wanted to make sure of the match. Pop the red. That puts us 50 ahead now with 35 on the table. The black will put us 57 ahead with 35 on the table. He'll need 5 4-point snookers, or I suppose 6 4-point snookers. So he's not going to come back to the table now. We survived a little bit of a scare, although very minute, really, in the end. A very small scare, and we are now through to the last 16, which we will play the first 4 frames of in Saturday's episode. Very excited to see who that's against. Can't remember who it was last year, you know. I feel like it was somebody like Bingham, but I don't think it was. That's going to annoy me now. It might have been Ryan Day. I think it was. I think it was Ryan Day. Seem to remember his name cropping up.
Colours remaining.
I know we played Judd Trump in the final and Mark Williams in the semis, but before that, again, I feel like I think Ding came up at one point. It might have been Ding in that last 16, possibly. Funny how your memory goes, isn't it? I mean, these matches were played in March, the beginning of the pandemic, so that's a long way away now, isn't it? Goodness me, yeah. Tricky round here, but if we don't pop this so well. But we do, so that's a cracker.
24.
As I said, we can't breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. We've got through the first round. Dave Gilbert's going to be disappointed, but, you know, as I said earlier, we shouldn't have really been drawn together in this round. That's a glitch on behalf of the game, but
29.
not to be offensive to Gilbert, but we will be.
Into the right
He's played like one of those wild cards. Even worse, he's not played well. He's not took his chances when he's had them. Because it's not been all us. He's certainly had his chances to probably be, at worst, 5-2, 4-3 behind. But he's not taken the chances. We've taken them. And with that black, we defeat David Gilbert by 6 frames to 1. A brilliant result. And we now advance to the last 16. And we'll find out who our opponent is. A highest break, 106. You can see only 160 throughout the match for Dave Gilbert. He's going to be really disappointed with that. But we continue, and rightly so. We played very well there. All right, we lost the 1 frame, but Gilbert just wasn't at the races, and we took advantage of that. And it's John Higgins in the last 16. That is a very tough draw, but a draw we have gotten through in the past. We played against John Higgins in the last 16 in the past, but in these big events, it's tricky. But it's a challenge I'm looking forward to, and hopefully one we'll prosper in. So, if you have enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Snooker 19 content, with the first part of this last 16 match coming on Saturday before the second part on Monday. Remember, we upload Snooker 19 content round here on a Monday, Wednesday, and on a Saturday at 6 PM British time. But until Saturday, thank you very much for your company today, folks. I have been TIJ Gaming, and until the next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.